Hi, Paul FD here with the Triangle O football system. I want to talk today about offensive movements, specifically how to install and teach this at the high school level. We'll go over the what, why, and how of making complex very simple, how you can create stress weekly, and then show you an install progression, and lastly, some examples of all the different movements. Let's take a look. So first, what we're talking about is taking something really complex and making it simple. And there's 4 simple steps here. First, and probably the most important, you need to select if you're going to be a no huddle communication tempo team as your foundation, or you're going to be a bunch huddle team. With no huddle, you can use signals to the skills and then verbal by the quarterback to the O-line. Obviously, it can be very fast. With a bunch huddle, you can still use those QB signals, or you can use a wristband to the quarterback for communication. A little slower, but can simplify some things. What we're going to talk about is using both so that we change tempos to the defense. Think of bunch as a drive starter and then no huddle as a fast tempo, typically after a first down and you've gained some rhythm. Second step, you're going to compartmentalize your installation and teaching. This will create stress for your opponents weekly. How you're going to do that is you'll simply rotate your movements week to week, and then if you're ready for it, you can add additional ones. This will create a tendency each week, but you're going to use that to your advantage to change and mess up the defense every week. Step 3, you want to start with simple position resets as your foundation movement. It's the simplest, and then you can progress to motion. So some examples is just, we'll get into this, B-back bounce, your slot receiver doing that jet sweep or what we call fly stretch, and then H-back and the A receiver doing returns as a starting point. 4, then you can progress to simple team shifts and combinations of both shifts and motion. And we'll use that by starting with a team squeeze to a wide or vice versa. It's really simple, but again, can create real problems for defenses. All right, next, why are we doing this? It's going to create stress weekly on your opponent. So as you mentioned, first thing, determine what's going to be your foundation, core tempo, and mode of communication. My preference is to use no huddle first, and use those simple resets and shifts, and then the bunch as a drive starter or a complement. Why we would do this is, again, it forces everybody to learn the signals right from the beginning, and then you can add the wristbands as a change up. Second, the signals serve as a foundation for you to be fast when you need to be, like 2 minutes and so forth. A good example is we were doing no huddle fast with these signals back in the 1990s at a D3 college level, and were able to lead the nation in plays per game, averaging 83 a game. Third, the bunch then can serve as a foundation for you to be slow when you need to. It also helps you simplify and forces you as an AOC to script your movements in your plays. Something I did then at the 9th grade level in high school in 2013 with a lot of success. 4, the movements create leverage and they put the defense on their toes. And last, probably most important, it's fun and it's simple, where you can create tendencies that you can use to your advantage, creating great stress on your opponent every week. This is something we did starting in 1996 with our no huddle, as we rotated the movements every week, and then we used it again in 2012 with the 9th grade level with success. Last, then, how we do this, we use a systematic installation progression. So first, which is really easy, is just use your back resets. This is where the back would start in the backfield, bounce out to an empty look, and back. It shows the coverage of the defense man or zone. Again, compartmentalize things by picking one for the week as your core, and then as the season goes, you can add to that or scaffolding of the movements. Second one that's easy is go right into your H-back resets. One of the things we like to start with is what we call steer, where it's a return motion. This allows you as an OC to see the picture of the defense, but then you create this movement and you get back to the same picture, hopefully creating leverage for you as an offense. Second, then we'll go to the A receiver or the slot. using first his fly motion, or what people call jet sweep. Again, that creates a fast stretch on the defense. From there, then I like to go to a glide. That's where he starts wide and the Z is in tight, and he just simply comes into a stack alignment. Great against man defenses to create a natural rub in a very easy way. And then we would go right into the return, same as the H-back. So the picture doesn't change for you, but it does for the defense. Next easy step then is just to do these team shifts. And I've done this all the way down to the 9th grade level, because you simply start by just using a compressed, or what we call squeeze, and then you go out to a wide alignment. This is great in that you can add this now to your fly stretch series or your jet sweep from that compressed set, or reverse type packages that we have in the system. Another thing you can do is use 3 back type sets and then motion or shift out to a 1 back your normal spread using what we call a diamond series. So it's a great way to use offensive packages, shift, and again, really simple for your players to do. And then last, once you get all of those foundational movements in, you can start to now do team motion with shifts and team shifts with motion. Again, the key here is to script your movements and plays, rehearse them in practice, and then follow that script in the game. Let you be smart both for your athletes and yourself as an OC play caller. Last, these are just examples of all the different resets and motions in the system. Here's your back resets. Key teaching point here, we use 2-handed signals for the back. Then next we have the H-back, again, 2-handed signals. And then last, the A, or what the slot receiver does. These are 1-handed signals now. Last then are the team shifts. Again, very easy one, but impactful, is just going from a compressed, what we call squeeze, out to your wide alignment, or vice versa. Once you get that in, you can do what we call a team shake. You simply take your formation signal and shake it side to side, and now we're adding motion first using return motion with the A slot receiver or the H-back, and then shifting from that compressed to a wide or vice versa. Chunking of movements together. Here then is an offensive package shift. You can see here this is a diamond or a 3-back, where we can shift now to our 1-back spread or vice versa. Next in the progression then, you can use team shifts in motion where you trade the formation strength from one side to the other. We use what's called an Aussie opposite here. With Aussie opposite, we just simply have rules. So you can see we're going from a heavy 3x2 empty set on the left to a 3x1 to the right. Again, you can add the shake and a slam, having the A receiver and the H back do motion after the shift. Last team shift in motion is what we call Tahiti trade, where we're going to go from a 3x1 bunch away and be able to shift into any formation in the system. So here you see it, we're in a tray left, and we can shift here to a 3x1 to the right. Last, you can add the motion like before with the shake by the A receiver coming across after the shift and the slam by the H back. You can see now we've taken something very complex you're seeing on Saturdays and Sundays and simplified it so you can use it at the high school level. Thanks.